Happy Monday, everybody. Lots to go over. I'm going to run through the list here. We got Japanese reprint pre-order deadlines, Tokyo Revengers, Hololive SPs, triple rares. I know people are confused on the pricing. I'm going to throw a bunch of numbers at you. PR Pack, Springfest, Decide Tramieri, and Asuka. So with that, let's start. Japanese pre-orders for the reprint is closing on May 4th. Again, this is the four that is going to actually be reprinted. Sneaker Bunko, Fujimi, Fantasia Bunko, Bunny Girl Senpai, and Slime 1. Again, with Slime 1, that is being reprinted in English. It is confirmed at this point that it will be hitting stores this May. So if you wanted Slime 1 for the Japanese side, feel free to pre-order that, but we are getting one of those ones for English side, and that's coming out in May. Remember, this is the one where the signatures that were in gold are being replaced with silver, so they are going to be a bit different. So we'll see what happens with the pricing, but at the very least, you know, we're getting reprints. So if you don't want the Japanese side, don't waste your money on that one. Okay. With Sneaker Bunko, like I said before, I don't ever believe it's coming to English unless it comes out as a collector's set because of all the card art, and that's where I'm putting my money. I'm not going to be shy in saying that. I'm putting my money there instead of buying the other ones because that seems more likely to me. It makes more sense. Fujimi Fantasia Bunko, no reprint has been announced in English, but it has been released in English prior. So because of that, I don't want to buy the Japanese version if there's a possibility that an English one does come out. Bunny Girl Senpai, we have already had an announcement on the last Bushiroad conference, and what they said on there, it is going to be reprinted. We don't know about the signatures, if they're going to have signatures or they're going to be different colors. We have no idea. So if you wanted to ensure that you get signatures on your Bunny Girl Senpai cards, then maybe you pick up the Japanese one. For me, I'm not going to buy the Japanese side. I'd rather have English cards than Japanese cards if I have the option, unless the card art is different, and that's what I mean. The gamble is that if there's going to be any sort of differences in it, and this time around when I mean card art, I mean signatures. Okay. All right, next thing, if you want to actually pre-order, again, I am not sponsored. I have not even actually talked to these people in real life. I've only done it through an email, one email, and I would pre-order it through Hammer Girl Anime. They have, I believe, the best prices I've seen so far when it comes to single booster boxes. $57.49 is what you are looking at, $971.99 for a carton or case. So there you go. You also have pre-orders up for Kaguya Love is War Volume 2. And if you like Rebirth for You, there are some New Japan Pro Wrestling and Kagi Nando. So feel free to pick those up as well when you're out there. Next up is Card of the Day, Japanese side. This is Tokyo Revengers. Remember, this comes out May 13th. For us, unfortunately, it has been delayed. And I will say, I saw this on Facebook. When I woke up this morning, I saw it on Facebook, and it's like, yeah, do not look at these pictures if you have not watched this anime and don't want spoilers. This is not the day to be looking at this. For the people that actually did watch this, it brought back the feelings for me about what actually happened on the show. I showed my wife, and with these cards that were released today, you could piece together what actually happened from this one scene. So it's pretty awful but memorable at the same time. I will also say, people have heard me talk about Maji a record before when I played the counter. Same thing with this one. More than likely, most people probably wouldn't play it. I feel like it wouldn't. This is a level 3 cost 4 counter. What is it? You send 2 cards from your hand to waiting room. If you did, choose one battling character, deal X damage to your opponent. X is the chosen opponent's character soul, and they cannot actually hurt you. So, but the damage can be canceled. 4 cost. Maybe this is like the Hail Mary, like your last chance here. So it makes sense to me to play it, but at the same time, 4 stock, pretty expensive. But I play stuff like that with Magia Record. Again, I'm not like a professional player or anything like that. This card seems fun to me, and card games are meant to be fun. Hololive Booster boxes still up there, $94. We'll see what happens when more and more people get it. I didn't look before this making this video. I know, like when I looked a few days ago, there were still some that I saw in the $70. So I would avoid buying it off a TCG player. If you're going to buy it off TCG Player, use my TCG Player link. It's in the description. Buy it as well. I give all that money back to you, anyways, in the form of a giveaway. All right, so keep in mind, these booster boxes come out May 13th, but they also have these PR packs. So these PR packs you get from buying from a tournament store, right? So if you go and buy from a tournament store, they could possibly give you a pack. You need to check with them on how they are actually handing them out, but you would really want to have these. And this is what it looks like. Someone put it on Facebook. So here is Gura, which I know everybody's really excited for. Here is the shiny form of her. And then we have this picture, which also has a bunch of other members on here, as you can see. So obviously the top row here is going to be the ones that people really, really want. I mean, not to say these other cast members, right, aren't great at all, but we know Gura's going to be the standout. I know some people love Amelia Watson. I love Kiara myself, and we got Ina over here. And we have Mori lovers out there as well. And everybody loves a different person, okay? So we got tons of people out here. So again, if you're going to be buying any of these packs, make sure to check with the store, see if you can get some, because they are actually being handed out right now, or at least in that situation right there, they were being handed out, and I'm pretty sure you would want to have it this time around. I mean, the Mushoku Tensei, they're dropping in price because of how, I guess, people are selling them versus ending up in the hands of actual players. But with these Hololive ones, player, no player, I think people are going to buy up some of these. So make sure to go out there and get it. Next up, we have a schedule. So keep in mind, I want everybody to be sure again what's actually happening. So on the Japanese side, we just got Decide Tramieri. Tokyo Avengers coming out. You saw the card of the day. We got Love Live Nijigasaki. Oh, and the premium Hololive booster box. Saikano, which I'm excited about. Million Live for Idolmaster. And then you got Pixar. So Pixar is going to be pretty nuts. More so than I think anybody actually would imagine. So Toy Story up first, Monsters Inc., and Cars. I think people are pre-ordering it. I haven't seen any, but I've seen Japanese sites at least. So make sure if you need to pre-order, maybe you do that. Maybe you do that soon. Okay, and on the English side, we have, let's see, where did I put my schedule? I'm not going to bring up the schedule. I'm just going to go right here. We're going to go right here. What do we got next? Outside of Hololive, we got some reprints of Slime, like I said before, Nazarick, and Fake Camelot. I think they just put up a thing. Yeah, they did. Here they are. The Untouchable King of Camelot. So this is coming out June 17th. Remember, again, no signatures on this. There is just a stamp and a possible serial number. So a little sad for the rest of us, but that's how it's going to be. Okay, Springfest. Springfest is up, and I just want to say, not much has happened in the past week. I know there was one in Portugal, Lisbon. I haven't seen anything on that, but Springfest has been pretty interesting, all because of this. This makes me think back to this. So there was a restriction list that happened on Data Live and Kaguya, and let's just read this. Let me just go back to this. With effect from April 1st, 2022, Weiss Schwarz English Edition will be introducing a restriction list aimed at maintaining a healthy tournament environment. The following restrictions will apply for all tournaments, Data Live and Kaguya. So I don't know what your imagination of a healthy tournament environment is, but I can't imagine it's this. So what we have here is the Rosemont, Illinois tournament. And let's just go through the list here. Let me just see. So first place team, remember this is a team of 3. You can't use the same kind of sets. And because of that, you have to choose. What do I see here? I see Mushoku Tensei, Bang Dream, Slime, Mushoku, Mishoku, slime. Mishoku, 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 slime, Mishoku. Let me just go up here. Here's Germany. What are they doing in Germany? Oh, Mishoku, Mishoku, Bang Dream, slime, Mishoku, Mishoku, slime, slime, Mishoku. You get the point. Here's Bang Dream, Bang Dream. I don't know. I don't know what the thought on a healthy tournament environment is. If that means like everybody's playing Mishoku, Slime, Bang Dream, mixed in with like random other sets, then okay, I guess that is. I guess that's a good way to say that's a healthy tournament environment. Or the cynical person in me says a good way to sell some product. And I don't know. I don't know either way. I feel like maybe there is a good intention there, but it didn't happen soon enough. Having this come out right before a tournament and having this product release all at the same time just feels not good to me. You know, like this doesn't feel good. I don't like, but basically, I can't imagine still how there was no reprint of this. And you could tell me like they don't need one. This thing is low price. Like I see it 12.48, and there's 19 sellers, 19 listings. But when you look at the listing of the cards, what you got? One, you got three. I don't know if this person like these are three lightly played. I don't know if they played the tournament and just decided to sell it after they got done playing, since it says lightly played. 1 3 2 1 3. So it's not like there's mega sellers out there, huge sellers right here on this first page that has just 10, 20 supply or anything like that. Like this one where it has 28. You have all like these listings pretty frail. Like if somebody wanted to do it, and I'm not saying to do it because that's a bad idea. If someone really wanted to come in here and just wipe it out, they really could. Same thing with this Roxy, right? People be buying it, people be selling it. There's more lighter plays than I've seen in a while. So maybe people are really selling it after their tournament's done. Might as well cash in on the lower price, on the higher prices while you can. Maybe buy it back lower. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a healthy tournament environment. My gut tells me it's not to have it for those prices, but for those prices and to have like these results, right? Like, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna ban Mishoku for a healthy environment just because now everybody's playing it? You know, you went from Attack on Titan to whatever next to Data Live, Kaguya, and now you're on Mishoku, just playing endless amounts of. Well, I could only imagine what a single player tournament would have looked like, right? Like if you had single player, would Mishoku have been 50% of the field that's playing out there? I don't know. Right now, we just know what a team of three looks like, but I I can't imagine that. It's Goblin Slayer. Yeah, it is. Okay. Anyways, by the way, the site I am on, I just want to point this out one more time, is I am on Weiss Tea Time, a place that has many things. That has this master post out here for the Spring Fest that actually has card translations. Let me see, spoilers and translations. So if you're wondering what some of these cards actually say, you can go out on here and see Tokyo Revengers or the Sai Tramieri. It is all out here for you. So take a look. Definitely come out, support, check her out. So there we are. And if you want the card list, like I clicked on to get this Goblin Slayer one, then you need to come out to that site and check it out. Okay. By the way, since I'm already out here, I might as well look at this promo. I had no intention of talking about it, but the PR pack, where are we on this? PR pack, ooh, finally went back up, 696. There was a time where they were selling in the threes, and now they're back to six. So people are finally buying them. It was one of those ones in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's gotten way too low. It's a foil version of this card, and there is a normal version that's going for way higher. So it's kind of funny because they're starting to balance each other out. 696, that was shipping. Yes, 696 versus 698 for the non-foil version. Still, we're still in a spot where the foil version probably should be selling. The Sai Tramieri came out for Japan. It's doing pretty well, actually. Rondo is your big one, I would imagine. Like that was the card I said I would be playing if I were to pick up the set and play it. But you can see some of the other SPs decently low, 69.80, 29.80. My Jessica though, pretty nice, 89.80, completely sold out. So my favorite character. That's why I mentioned that from the series. So she sold out. I checked out at Nova TCG as well. So across the board, it looks like they're following the same kind of uh, purchasing card wise. The climax that goes with that rondo, 29.80. Yikes! It's really expensive, really expensive. But that's the one you're going to be using in your deck more than likely. So it makes sense. You want to max this sucker out. Moving on, real quick. Datalize surprise set, 18.99. It is what it is. As it's going to be low. There's a lot of supply of it. I feel like people totally got tricked on this. Um, I know I did a discussion with somebody else in my comments on one of the data, the surprise set video. Again, I stick to what I believe. That it's messed up how it came out. We should have known a little bit more about like the delay. It should have been delayed as long as it has been. At some point, I was just like, you should have just canceled this at this point. It wasn't good. Outside of the whole PR issue that happened inside of the booster box. The PRs themselves, $25. Their sales way too high. Obviously, you could just buy a box for $19 and get the promo from there. The regular version out here is pretty cheap, 70 cents. If you buy enough of them, you don't have to pay shipping, so 70 cents. Bang Dream Premium Booster Box, wanted to talk about this real quick. It got down to the low of $49 with shipping. $49. Some people are buying it, so $52 is where we land on at this point. There is still a bunch of supply out there. The interesting part, again, is you can buy the single box for $52, where nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to drop this case. And I get why. I don't know what stores actually purchased them at, but I don't think they want to take a humongous loss by multiplying it by making this like what, $500 and then paying TCG player fees and all that. I don't think anybody wants to do that at this point. BDRs are actually selling, but it depends on the price, right? I've been seeing some down here in the under $3, and they actually do sell under there. Outside of that, BDRs don't really sell, which is sad. You're guaranteed one per band in every one of them. SRs are under $2, so pretty nice. Again, you could probably pick these all up under a certain price, and it would make it'd be nice. Can you imagine buying all the BDRs and SRs under like $3 each? That would be amazing. It hurts for people selling it, but honestly, I don't know how much interest really is in this. Let me just check Yukina. Yeah, there was just only 2 sales that happened back then. So hopefully the people that actually bought into this, opened it, really did it because they're collectors. And maybe they're selling their extra. Outside of that, it's, as you can see, it's not very pretty with what's happening up there. Next up is Hololive. Oh boy, Hololive SPs. So I was left at a quandary on what to do here, and the only way I could think of to go about this is I know, it's scary. It's an Excel file. So here it is. Here it is. And this is what I did. Let me just go over what actually happened here. So when I did my Hololive trial deck videos, what I did was I showed the Japanese pricing of these cards. I told you if they were sold out or anything like that, and I showed you all the cards. So what I did here was I pulled the data off of there and plopped it on this thing. So there's going to be a lot of things you learn from this. Some people are just going to gain that that these prices are all over the place or they're not really available. What this is also going to see is the ratios and all of that. What I will say, so people are going to be confused by if they skip through this video. But the pluses right here. So on by their name, there are little plus symbols. And what the pluses actually are is it was sold out on websites. So on UUT and Nova TCG. So this is what these plus signs mean. So even though the price, the JP price was $797.99, this has a plus here, which means it probably would have been higher, but they ran out of stuff. Right? They had no more cards to sell. So even though it is $797.99 or $147.99, it's sold out. So probably it was going to be a little bit higher. All right. So that's what that means, and we're just gonna go through it rather quickly because what we're seeing is there's not a lot of actual cards out there because there's people delayed. I myself have not gotten any of my stuff. I know people at LGSs have them, and some of the places that are actually selling haven't even got all the trial decks. Maybe they got number 3, number 4, number 5, but they didn't get number 2 or 0 or something like that, generation 2. And that's the problem here. We have a lot. The other issue is I've always pointed this out, and I'm going to point it out one more time for you. A lot of sales happen on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, you are missing out. And I'm not going to sit here and capture it all, but I did make a note of a few of them just so you can see. So you would want to go out to Facebook and join these communities, the Weiss Schwarz NA community and the Weiss Schwarz global community. Okay, so go out there, join them. There is going to be cards out there that at the very least is normally like 10% lower than TCG Player. So when I show you these prices in TCG Player, there may be some that are listed lower by 10%. That's what people do. They go 10 to 15% off TCG Player. So imagine this Miko right here. And on TCG Player, it's $9.99. There is one on sale for $750 on Facebook, which is 25% off. Okay, so even though you have TCG player prices, you need to go out on Facebook. If you're looking for the best deal possible, you need to go everywhere because not a lot of people sell on TCG Player. The whole community doesn't just go out on TCG Player. Okay, just letting you know that. All right, with that, let's go. Let's go. All right. So here is our Generation Zero, and what I said again is there's not going to be a lot. Some of these prices are really crazy. What we've always known from Japanese prices to English prices is there's like a multiplier effect. I've always said the multiplier is different depending on your range. So let's say a card in Japan is like $100. You can more than likely multiply by 2 or a little bit more than 2 to get the actual price. What when you start getting higher and higher, right? Let's say a card is $1,000. Would that $1,000 card be multiplied by 2? Normally not, because once you get higher and higher, right, it makes sense. You're not going to be able. There's not going to be as many people that want that card at that price. They can't afford it. So the multiplier is always a little bit lower as you get once the product releases and it comes out and you see the Japan price to English price, and that's what's going on here. So you're going to see some things that stick out, some things that are a little nuts, but what we have here for this one is we only have 2 available. There we go. We have 2 available. That'd be Suisei and Miko. And these prices are good as of, what time is it? As of 10 Eastern time, because if someone puts one up after I do this video, that's not on me. What you're going to see here is really expensive, and none of them is sold. I definitely would say on the higher price cards, like these 2 ladies right here, I would wait unless you really, really want it bad. Okay. And my point is, you could see the Miko 750 on Facebook. This star right here is a sale on Facebook, $200 on Facebook. So Roboco, she was bought on Facebook for $200. There's none on TCG Player. So again, if you go out to TCG Player looking for cards and you don't actually find it, maybe try Facebook, because you might actually get them lower than what you think, because 2 times that number is not $200. It's higher than that. So you may be able to get a deal out there as well. Because there's advantages to selling on Facebook, right? You don't pay TCG Player fees. The seller doesn't pay TCG Player fees, and but at the same time, you got to trust those people. That's a big thing. You got to trust. So Generation Zero, definitely there's nothing going on here that I would say pick up. Maybe find a place outside. Generation 1, here we go. This is fun. Another one, just to point out here, look at all these pictures. Here we go. And then I'm going to zoom in for you. So what we have again is these percentage these percentages, and the highlight in blue for me, the big one is Aki Rose, and it's completely bought out. So 127.99 bought out at 200. It reminds me of the Roboco up here again. She is completely sold out and only up 56%. So it seems like it was fairly cheap to buy that one. Fubuki, another one, 650 on Facebook. It didn't sell. It's on sale on Facebook for 650, which is a humongous difference between 14.99.99. So that price is a little bit crazy to me. Like, oh my god, it's a nice looking card. $1,500. I don't know. This Mel seems a little high. The hard part about like all of this is everybody's either people are holding on to their cards, which some people are. Some people are really in love with these cards, or the other is, and that's what's I think is happening because there's some traditional sellers that aren't putting prices to these cards yet. No one wants to let these cards go for too cheap because I think time is on your side when it comes to actually selling these cards. Uh, I think a lot of there's going to be a huge amount of demand for it, and people are just really waiting to see what someone's going to throw down. So because you don't want to be this person, right, that puts it down for 1,500 and then someone else comes along and puts it at 1,000, because that's what's going to happen. At the same time, you don't want to be this person more than likely that sold this Aki Rose for 200 when it's probably, you could probably sell it for 275. Just guessing, but I would say you probably sell that for 275, right? And as you can see, the quantity here pretty low, nothing really happening, and there's not really any sales again because people are waiting for their product. I think there's going to be a lot of people waiting, and if they don't get what they want, maybe they'll come out and buy it. But at this point, there is a lot of hype around it, but it just sucks that the delivery, the actual logistics and all that on each of these sets with this whole delay in product is causing these issues. It'd be nice if we all got our stuff right at the same time. It'd just be at least a little bit more controlled chaos than what we have here. What we have is second generation. This one's got a little bit more of actual product out there. You could see which one's the one that stands out for me. Look at this Xion, 142%. Subaru, 152. From $400 to $1,003. That seems insane to me. I wouldn't buy it. Choco here, she actually sold out at $599. You can see there was two sales that happened here. $599.99. Well, let's just say 500 and 600. Recent sale was $600. So this thing was actually multiplied by 3. And let me just show her a picture. Here she is. Look at that girl. Sorry, I know with the way I zoom in, some of the pictures get blocked out, but here she is. And she sold for 600. Yeah, yeah. It is also funny to see. To me, remember what I said about like the whole English viewers and the Japanese viewers? Like, which one of these cards are gonna break out of that pattern? Like maybe more to the west, there's gonna be viewers that favor a certain VTuber over another VTuber that Japan side would have actually liked more. So it's fun to actually see what's going to happen here. But price wise, I think some of these cards are expensive. But at the same, oh, actually, never mind. Right here, Choco, it was a plus. It was sold out in JP. So 200, maybe that's about right. Maybe it was 300, and now it's 600 multiplied by 2. So it's ignore what I just said. Just this is a confusing situation. Outside of that, I think Subaru definitely way more expensive than I would actually buy. And that would be one of those I'd wait on and check Facebook on. Okay, we got Gamers. Gamers is the one where there is so many trial decks that are like in the 20s, but I think it was Gamers and 3 and Generation 3 that were really expensive, right? Let me go here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Gen 3, $40. Gamers, 30. Yeah, those were the two. And Generation 4, surprisingly, is actually up there as well. So, anyways, gamers, you get my idea here. Gamers, it's expensive, man. Krone not there. Fubuki, $800, three of them. That's or $750, three of them. That is coming down at some point. Okayu, there's two. There's a lot more of these gamer ones out there, and none of them actually sold at this point. With what we got, Generation 3, Ruchia. Oh man, no, people are really excited for it just because of everything that's happened. And the big one being Noel. And then we got, this is actually a standout. Generation 3 is definitely a standout one because you got a really nice group of characters here going on. So you can see the pricing on it. Flare 250. We got two quantity. Everything else, Noel, I've seen on Facebook. I don't know if anybody actually sold it or wanted this out. I know people are showing it off. Marine, I haven't seen. Brucia, I've seen, but I haven't seen anybody attempt to sell it. Pekara, $700. TCG player. Jeez. That was 300, so yeah, expensive. And Flare, if you wanted to see, so the same seller with the numbers that I've had on the side that I said, oh, Miko over here with 750. The same seller has this Flare for 300 on Facebook, where you can get it on 250 for TCG players. So what I will say is not everything on Facebook is cheaper. That's my point. And literally the same person, and again, no disrespect, literally the same person had a really cheap Miko where you have a more expensive Flare. So you need to check all places. Not one place is going to be uh, a great place to buy your cards, right? You need to check with other people. You probably negotiate and just be like, "Hey, TCG player got it for 250. You could probably buy it for 10% off of that, so $25 less of 225." Okay, what we got here, Generation 4. So as you saw, it's like a really expensive trial deck. Coco, oh man, I love this card. I hope I get one. And Toa. If I could pull or Kanata. Oh man. Anyways, you get my point. There was some kind of interesting talk about Watame this morning that I saw as well. If you notice here, Generation 4, all plus signs here. So all completely gone from JP. When I looked on those two sites, Nova TCG and Yuyute. So both of them gone. TCG player then, you're definitely going to be multiplying by something. This Kanata is definitely really expensive and probably proves to the point why it wasn't actually sold. Coco here, see again, if I multiply by 2, I roughly get 800, and that's what it did. It actually did sell for $800, one of them on Facebook. And what time, the reason why I'm showing this one is you can see 2 sold, and recent one 5-1 for $500. The first one sold at $700 on April 30th. So what's the real price? I don't know, but TCG player got it for $875. My guess really is it's probably in this like 700-ish, but definitely 500 was somebody selling it really quickly, um, wanting to get rid of it. I think you could have definitely got more than 500 on that one. So same person from Facebook, 300 for the Luna, which as you can see on TCG Player, $500. This seems like a good price if you want the Luna at this point. Uh, Again, like there's more supply coming. So at this point, it looks like 300 is okay, given what we know about SPs and the multiplying effect and all that stuff. So 300 seems really, really good. Almost makes me question that number, but hey, you save a bit selling on Facebook, right? Last one, 5th generation, the not so loved one, and I will go back and talk about that again if you didn't see my trial deck video. So we got 4 people in here, and the shocking thing to me is this right here. You can see this multiplier happening here. I probably would not buy these. The JP price on these two, 127.99, Polka 147.99. So that is quite the number to go up to 650 and 700. I wouldn't say. So there's no sales on them, right? There's no sales. I think it's just going to be higher, and it should come down a little bit. Lamy and Botan both sold out JP wise, 450 and 300. The 300, I guess, could make sense to me if you think it was 150 in the Japan version. Okay, so multiplying makes sense here. All right, as you can see, what you want to do is definitely wait it out, check different sites. This gives us a little insight into the multipliers and what not to buy. This at least gives you a little bit of a guide because no one's going to really tell you how much these things are going to be worth. You just kind of use trends and all that, and this is one of them. I mean, this right here completely stands out to me as a don't buy kind of situation for that one. Okay. All right, let me just go over triple rares. So we got triple rares here, and the main thing that we're to keep out for triple rares is making sure that if you want a certain person to, again, take a look at the Japan prices, take a look at any decks you're going to build or people are going to use in a deck, because the triple rares will be bought to be put in decks. And if there is one of them that you want, maybe you'll pick it up at a price that makes sense to you. Right here, this is a little bit too high for me, $29.99. I will show you this as well. So back when I did my trial deck, I did these averages of triple rares and SPs and all this stuff. You can see it was a lot of crazy numbers that actually happened in here. And I actually ranked these. Let me move my face. So I ranked the trial decks based on, against each other based on these pricings. You can see which one stands out. Gen 5 is SP wise wasn't as loved. 450 was the highest one. 240 was the average. But you can see overall the value of the cards inside of it outside of the SP was really great. But you can see the triple rares across the board. They're pretty low when you average them out. And I say average because what we have here is there are 14 triple rares when there are 4 cast members. When there is 5 cast members, there is 12. And now taking a look at this thing, this is a trial deck case or carton, whatever you want to call it. There's 48 of these in here. There's 2 SPs, which means there are 46 trial decks, 46 triple rare trial decks inside of a case. And so you're going to get approximately 3 triple rares per. So let me go back. All right, so 46 divided by 14, we get 3. It's actually almost 4. Same thing with this one, where there's only 12. You get about roughly 4. You're going to get some duplicates in there, 3 to 4. So you're going to have some supply of this. There's a lot of people actually opening this, so I would definitely wait on some of these, but I wouldn't wait too long. We know triple rares, SRs always disappear. And I think this is going to be the case depending on the actual cast member. Other ones are going to be not so great. If you want to actually see the triple rares I'm talking about, you need to go back to my trial deck video. Okay, so I won't rehash that again. And lastly, Osica. Osica is coming out. If anybody knows how to purchase this, I definitely am going to buy the laid back camp version when it does come out. I can't wait to actually see these cards. It's nice to see competition between Weiss Schwarz and other people. I know there's Build Divide out there as well, but I definitely want to check out a laid back camp one that comes out. I love that anime and I want to see it. All right, and that's everything. So, oh, by the way, should have said this at the beginning. There was a point when I was recording that D4DJ video that I accidentally hit start streaming. So anybody that saw that for 5 seconds, my apologies. I meant to record a part from the mobile app game that I had and not actually stream, but the buttons are like on top of each other. Like the streaming one is above the recording one. So I hit the wrong button and I recorded it. But it seems like some people want me to actually do it live. So maybe one day I will do another live and you just tell me what you want to talk. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't even know if I have time for that. But I do like doing the lives that I've done before, and it seems like some people are really excited. Sorry to confuse you all again about that. But anyways, I gotta go. My sister's here. We are going out to lunch. So as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.